Hello world and welcome back to another episode of the vlog series where I go to the end of every metro line in Shanghai in search of the interesting, the extraordinary and the unusual. Now today we're off to Disneyland. That's right, we're jumping on line 11, the longest line in Shanghai. A line so long that it actually leaves Shanghai. So let's get on board.
Did you ever look at a map and wonder, where are these places? What's out there? Well, maybe it's just me, but I decided it's time to find out. I'm travelling to the end of every metro line in Shanghai in search of the interesting, the extraordinary and the unusual. So let's go to the end of the line.
Line 11 starts in the middle of Pudong. Disneyland itself is about halfway between central Shanghai and Pudong Airport, and we have just a few stations left to get there.
Today we're starting out at Disneyland in the Pudong district of Shanghai's east, before heading west underneath a large chunk of suburbia, turning north underneath the Huangpu River and a large section of Shanghai's city centre. Then finally we head out to the northwest, where one branch terminates at North Jiading in Jiading district, while the other heads west to terminate at Huaqiao in Jiangsu.
And outside Shanghai stands Mickey Mouse. We have made it here to Disneyland at the start of line 11. Now, I'm not going to offer any geopolitical analysis here, but suffice to say that no matter what governments are saying to each other, people here in China and especially Shanghai still enjoy American culture and will line up here on a very warm day to experience it, especially when they can post it on WeChat and send it to their friends. So the Lego store here is much more my kind of scene, but nonetheless, it's time to jump on the metro and get moving again. So I have alighted here at Sanlin very briefly to show you what is probably the most unique footbridge in all of Shanghai. Just look at that magnificence. I don't think there are any more words required. So we have stepped out here at Yunjin Road, not far from the Huangpu River, because this here is the site of Shanghai's first airport, the Longhua Airfield. Now this was immortalised in the novel and film Empire of the Sun. The author of that book was interned here at a prison camp not far away during the Second World War. Now this road, which the metro line travels underneath, is situated on the old runway site, and they've kept part of the runway here, this concrete path I am walking on. There's a few markings you can still see. For the last few years particularly, there's a bit of redevelopment which has taken place on the old airfield site. We've got a new business district still in the stages of construction behind me. This side, the old passenger terminal, which is quite small, still exists. So I'm going to go up and have a very quick look. There it is on the other side of the road behind me, the old terminal building of the Longhua Airport. Now the terminal building was built in the 1930s, but Longhua Airport opened in 1922. On the other corner of this intersection is the Shanghai Civil Aviation College, so this area does still maintain some links to its aviation past. Longhua Temple is just up the road but we'll leave that for another day. So for now, it's time to continue our journey. So we have started the journey into Shanghai's northwestern suburbs, and we have alighted here at Zhenru for what is once again some very much needed culture. Now, just a very short bicycle ride behind this construction site, there is the Zhenru temple. So we're going to jump on a bike and check it out. Zhenru Temple is a Buddhist temple, and it was originally constructed over 1,000 years ago in the Song dynasty from 960 to 1270, I think. Now this ginkgo tree behind me is 650 years old, so dates to very early on in the life of the temple. Now the temple here on this location has been rebuilt a number of times throughout the centuries, which is pretty standard for buildings of this age in China with such a tumultuous history. But the buildings here generally look fairly old. It's not renovated within an inch of its life like Jing'an Temple in central Shanghai. Apart from a little bit of renovation going on there, there's almost no one here. It's incredibly peaceful. It's really quite incredible here. There's such a peaceful atmosphere. There's hardly any people. I've seen more pigeons than people. The monks obviously feed them. There's a little pigeon house over there. There's a few just chilling out on the lawn in the shade. So Zhenru Temple, 100% worth every single one of the 10 RMBs I paid to get in. We've stepped back out onto the hustle and bustle of Shanghai streets, and we are heading back to the metro. Now we have ventured all the way into Shanghai's northwest, and we have stopped off here at Nanxiang. So just a short ride away from the Nanxiang metro. Ni hao. A few new fans. Just a short ride away from the Nanxiang metro station, we've come here to the Nanxiang Old Town, and I'm here in search of one thing. Now on this series I don't normally delve into the world of food and cuisine because I'm not much of a foodie. But when we're talking about Shanghai... Wei shuo Yingwen ma? Yi dian dian? Wei shuo Zhongwen Yi dian dian?
你的英文名叫什么？
拜拜，再见。Bye bye. Bye bye. Few new fans there. Now when it comes to specialities of Shanghai cuisine, there is one thing at the very top of the list which everyone says is the single most important thing you should try when it comes to Shanghai food, and that is the xiaolongbao, these small round dumplings filled with meat and soup. And in actual fact, they originated here in Nanxiang. Here we go, I've got a fresh basket of xiaolongbao straight from the steamer. They're always steamed. There's a number of different flavours they come in now, but the most traditional one which I've gone for is pork. Yep, still hot. And some dexterity with chopsticks required to do this. But good. I'm no Anthony Bourdain, I'm not about to start a food vlog series, but these xiaolongbao from here in Nanxiang, the very home of the xiaolongbao, are excellent and highly recommended. If you Something I won't be trying is the sticky tofu, which is on sale here behind me. The smell is incredibly distinctive. I wish I could describe it to you other than terrible. So we finally made it all the way out here to Jiading Xincheng, or Jiading New Town, and this is where the two branches of line 11 diverge. Now first we're going to head up to North Jiading and check that out. So we've finally made it all the way out here to North Jiading, the end of the first branch of line 11 here in Jiading district. That bus needs a bit of care. So here we are at North Jiading. There really isn't that much here. There's basically a few tower blocks, one on each corner of the intersection. So really there isn't much else here to do other than jump on a train back to Jiading Xincheng and get back onto the second branch out to Huaqiao. So one station on from the junction at Jiading Xincheng, we have reached the Shanghai Circuit. That's right, this is where Formula One comes to town every year. Well, every year there isn't a global pandemic. It was first built in 2002 for the specific purpose of bringing the Formula One circus to China. I've jumped out here at Guangming Road, the second last stop on line 11 to check out something nearby. Now, not far away is a little Instagram hotspot. Now, I don't like to jump on the trends of Instagram places, but this one looks just too cool not to. And that place is here, the interesting pixelated form of the U Station Future City complex. Now each corner is made up of an office block which is then covered in these pixelated apartment buildings to build up a sort of mountain form. It's all quite interesting. So there's only one more stop to go to get to the end of line 11, so let's get back on the metro and bring this journey to its conclusion. So we finally made it out here to Huaqiao, a district of Kunshan in Jiangsu province. Kunshan is basically the first town across the border from Shanghai. and it's a bit of a strange place to finish. There isn't really much here. There's a few tower blocks around, paddock construction site, but not a lot else, no town centre or anything. It's a bit strange, but then again, I guess Shanghai didn't want to be building infrastructure for the good folk of Jiangsu. So that's pretty much it here from Huaqiao here at the end of line 11. It has been an epic journey on the longest metro line in Shanghai since we started all the way back at Disneyland this morning. Now I'm going to jump back on the metro and head back towards civilization. And now I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you drop me a like, leave me a comment and subscribe, because there'll be more episodes of End of the Line coming up very soon. So until then, bye for now.
We're now at the terminal station.